Okay, so I don't run a very successful or popular YouTube channel as I just started. But this is pretty important to me, and I do want to voice my opinion on this, and hopefully it catches some kind of traction on YouTube to where it can get back to eBay and let them know our frustrations as a seller, so or a buyer. If you're a seller or a buyer on eBay, please just consider sharing this video. It's not the most popular, exciting video, but it definitely is important to try to get this message to the right people. I've been running an eBay store since, looking at it here, March 11th, 2017. Over the past 12 months, over a year now, I had zero feedback. I had zero negative feedback, zero neutral feedback, and 217 positive feedbacks. I'm going to flip the camera around just so I can show you this. 217 positive feedbacks over 12 months, 119 in 6 months as my business has been picking up, 35 in a month. I had zero neutral and zero negative over all this, over the past 12 months and then some. So within the past 3 weeks, I've received 3 neutrals and 4 negatives. Let's just go look at some of these negatives real fast, just so I can clarify what's going on here. Now, my only option is to reply to these negative feedbacks. Shoes shipped and never arrived. Tracking shows they were delivered to New York, not Texas. Seller has it where you can't even message them / contact them. Don't waste your time dealing with a seller you cannot communicate with. So on and so forth. It's all the same. Ordered on the 16th of March, still waiting on April 1st. So this being said, SneakerCon dropped the ball in New York. You ship it to Astoria, New York, for these shoes to be authenticated. The way that I sell, when I sell sneakers, I ship them. It takes 2 to 3 days, and to be specific, from Tennessee to Astoria, New York, it takes me 3 days to ship. Priority mail. I ship USPS priority mail. That's the way I've done it for 4 years now. 2017, March 2017, so right over 4 years now. Never had any problem. I have it at 1 day handling time. Some days I ship out the same day, if it makes sense. If I'm printing my labels out, if I get it, I try to ship it early. I want my customers to be happy. If they can get it a day early, that's great. I know how it feels as a buyer to get an order in the mail. When you get your order a day early, it's exciting. You didn't expect it, here it is. Wow, it's the thrill. It's like Christmas when you get something in the mail, right? Even today, even when we're used to it. So I try to provide that service to my customers so that they get that excitement on top of the excitement of just having their new shoes. Make sure they're always clean, always laced right. I probably go overboard to try to satisfy my customers. That being said, like I said, over 12 months, I had zero negative feedback. Got an email from eBay the other day stating that, they seen an explosion, in their words. This was their words, an explosion in sneaker sales and trying to be authenticated. Long story short, SneakerCon couldn't keep up with the demand of authenticating the sneakers over $100. So now I have these buyers that, obviously, if I was a buyer, I would be furious too. Where are my shoes at? I ordered these forever ago. Ordered these on the 16th of March, and here it is, April 1st. As a seller, the incentive to sell on eBay is obviously over $100 is, zero fees, and, unless you pay for the, pay for the sales promotion, promoted listings, whatever, which I do. But I mean, if you can order shoes from Amazon, and if you have Prime, they'll be there in 2 days. They're similar price. I don't think that they're authenticated through Amazon, but even still, you have other outlets as far as GOAT, StockX, and I don't even like mentioning these, honestly, because, I specifically sell on eBay. That being said, though, with continued negative feedback and customers being dissatisfied when it's not even my fault, it's really making me want to look at other outlets. I'm not gonna lie, I just listed a few things on GOAT, my first few things. Transferring 600 and something listings sounds like a nightmare to put on GOAT, but I mean, hey, they have storage at GOAT, they authenticate them. It comes with the shipping label when you buy it, so kind of takes some of the headache out. You do pay a higher fee. StockX, you have to have the pristine box. Everything has to be right. I don't know. How do we get a message? And furthermore, actually, speaking of how to get messages, you can't get... So when you sell sneakers over $100 that have to be authenticated through SneakerCon, through Astoria, eBay's new thing is you can't even contact the buyer. So they put in an order and then send you a message, hey, when are these going to ship, for example. You can't reply to them. The only way that you can reply to them is either if they're selling something on their page under their username, and you go to one of their listings and then like you're contacting them for their listing, not yours or the order that they place, or when they leave you negative feedback, then you can reply to it. Man, something's got to change, and I hope this message reaches whoever it needs to reach, because up to this point, I've enjoyed selling on eBay. I kept that my main focus, and buyers and sellers are both very frustrated with this service. I'm trying not to use foul language here, but it is frustrating to say the least as a seller. I can only imagine how buyers feel, and buyers are putting this off on the sellers when in reality this should be blamed on eBay, and if you want to look further into it, it should be blamed on SneakerCon. But this was eBay's, this was their idea. I've asked them to revise the negative feedback. They don't want to do that. They say it will. It's been like 2 weeks now since I got my first negative, and they said they would revise it. It's still not revised. I've called 3 times, and second time I was told it would be revised. It wasn't revised. The third time they sent it to the customer service people, the feedback department of eBay, and they said they would look into it. Well, I got an email saying you should try to reply to your buyer and try to resolve it with them. We can't revise your feedback. Okay, well then I go on eBay's help page, and it says clearly on the page, if I was more of a YouTuber, I'd be happy to put this up there. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Otherwise, either take my word for it or go see for yourself. But it says that if you receive negative feedback that wasn't your fault, essentially, and it specifically relates to shipping on there, if shipping wasn't your fault, meaning that the post office gets a weather delay, which has also happened. Severe weather came through and the post office was delayed, maybe a day or two. Well, the problem is, if that's a day or two, and then it finally gets to SneakerCon in Astoria, and then they have 3 days to authenticate the sneakers, and then let's say it takes them 3 days to authenticate. Well, now you're at 5 days. Let's say a weekend hits, then Monday rolls around. Well, they have 3 days shipping it from Astoria to wherever that buyer is. So if that takes another 3 days, I mean, you're talking about 7 plus 3, that's 10 more days, plus the 3 days it took me to ship it. I mean, that's almost 2 weeks. So, you know, I hope as buyers out there, if this reaches a message, you know, if this message reaches you, understand that this isn't the seller's. As a seller, I'm kind of caught in the crossfire because I don't know, do I move all my listings to another site and pay the additional fees so that I can satisfy my buyers? You know, because I put in the work. I put in the work every day. This is what I do every day. Rarely take time for myself. I really focus on my business, and customer service is top of that list. I mean, and I can't be the only buyer that is like that and puts their customers first. You know, without customers, you don't have a business. And eBay needs to understand that they're not going to stay in business much longer if they can't provide their buyers with a good experience and keep them happy. And sellers, I know, are feeling the same struggle and pain that I am. I've talked to many other resellers that do the same thing that I do locally here. Man, I hope this message reaches the buyers out there for eBay. I hope that the message reaches the sellers out there for eBay, and even more importantly than that, that somebody from eBay can make some kind of correction. I've noticed that actually starting on April the 1st, I noticed that not all of my shoes over $100 are being sent to Astoria, New York now to be authenticated. I sold some for $200 and those went. Some that I sold for $100, $120, those are being straight to the buyer. So, you know, I shipped them out early. I know that they're going to be happy. I'm probably going to get positive feedback if they decide to leave it. You know, as a seller, you know, if you've been on eBay, if you've been selling on eBay, you know that as a seller, you know, not everybody leaves positive feedback. It's great when you do, but if you don't leave negative, if you don't leave neutral, if you don't leave positive, I assume you were happy with it, you know. We all get, you know, buyers with 0 feedback, or, you know, single digits, or just bare minimum feedback. And I just assume that those people just don't use eBay often. It could have popped up in their Google search with a promoted listing, and they decided to give it a shot, or, you know, I had the best price, so they bought it. So, you know, not everybody leaves positive feedback, and that's great. But what people do is when they're upset, they want to send a message and let you know that they're not happy with the service they got. As a seller, I try to provide the best service. So when I receive all these negative feedbacks, I guess this is kind of my feedback, you know, to those repercussions that I received, which is trying to get a message out there to the right people to hear this, to say, hey, this isn't the seller's fault. And now I'm faced with a decision: do I move all my listings somewhere else to provide better customer service, which I do every day anyways, and just to a more sustainable platform that is going to operate under the same conditions and standards that I do. You know, if we're held as sellers to a certain degree, and, you know, I mean, I'm a top rated seller. If we're held to a certain level, eBay should be too. SneakerCon should be. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you're dealing with the same thing, let me know in the comments, please. If you find this video helpful, please give it the old thumbs up. Yeah, and spread this message, please, because it needs to be heard from a seller's standpoint, from a buyer's standpoint, so that everybody's kind of on the same page and understands that this isn't our fault. And, you know, if you've left negative feedback for a seller and you can go back and see that their shipping was on time, to Astoria to New York, you know that's what we got to do. Know that if you message us and we didn't message you back, that's not our call. This is something that eBay has implemented on their site, that we can't do it for authenticated sneakers now. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you, other than maybe they think that we're trying to get one over on them. The only way I know around this is to go in and mark all my listings as customized, because if they're customized, they won't authenticate them and I can ship them directly to the buyer. But then it's not listed as described. So tell me what you would do if you were in my shoes. Tell me what you would like to see as a buyer. Tell me what you think as a seller. I would really love to hear some feedback of this, and most importantly, please share this video, because the more people that see this and the more times that it's shared, the more likely this is to get to somebody at eBay that actually listens and cares. Because when you get through the phone lines, like I said, I've called multiple times trying to figure this out, and it's just as frustrating for sellers as it is for buyers. We pay for store subscriptions, we pay the listing fees. When you hustle every day as hard as we do and really try to provide a real customer service, when you run a full-time business, this isn't just a side hustle for me. This pays my mortgage, this pays my car payment, this feeds my family. It's more than just a side hustle. It's more than a couple dollars here and there. This is full-time. I wake up every day and go, you know what I'm saying? And try to improve on that year over year, month over month, day over day, and do my best. So I know this video is kind of long, and like I said, it ain't exciting, but it's important that this content get out there. So please consider smashing that thumbs up so more people can see it, the algorithm or whatever with YouTube. Post a comment, let me know what you would do as a seller or buyer, what you think about it, your frustrations, all of that. And let's just try to spread this message, man. I appreciate y'all checking it out. Peace.